You've probably felt it, right? That creeping suspicion in the back of your mind that the actual facts of our reality are being locked away by some powerful, shadowy figures. Well, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're putting a magnifying glass to the modern human condition. We're going to uncover a massive system of control. And the kicker? It operates right out in the open. Yeah, it's the ultimate dystopian mystery. So, are we living in an Orwellian nightmare? Look, let's just dive right into this because it's the ultimate cultural reflex, isn't it? I mean, the second a government oversteps or, a tech company updates its privacy policy or a new surveillance camera gets bolted to the corner, what do we all do? We instantly cry, 1984. We point our fingers, we shout that we're sliding straight into an Orwellian nightmare. We picture the thought police, the Ministry of Truth, Big Brother watching our every single move and actively crushing dissent under this heavy boot. But what if we've been looking for the wrong villain this entire time? What if the crime is happening exactly as we feared, but the weapon used against us is completely different? The paradigm shift we have to make here is absolutely fascinating. See, we are so obsessed with George Orwell's vision of a totalitarian lockdown that we've completely missed the twist in our own story. Actually, scratch that. It's more like we've been reading the wrong book altogether. We aren't actually trapped in Orwell's 1984. The actual reality we are living and breathing right now, it's Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. Just look at this stark difference between these two fears. Orwell feared those who would ban books. Huxley, on the other hand, feared that there would be absolutely no reason to ban a book, simply because no one would want to read one anyway. Orwell was terrified the truth would be concealed from us violently. Huxley warned the truth would just be drowned in a vast, endless sea of irrelevance. In 1984, people were controlled by pain, by force, by fear. But in Brave New World, people were controlled with pleasure. Orwell feared that fear itself would ruin us. Huxley warned that our own desires, the things we actually want, would be our ultimate downfall. Now, just to be perfectly clear and totally impartial here, Orwell wasn't entirely wrong about the world. Centralized suppression, where truth is censored by brute force, that is a very real control mechanism. You see it in former communist societies, modern-day China, Russia, and North Korea. In those specific regimes, the boot is indeed stamping on a human face. But for the vast majority of us who are just navigating this modern, globally connected information system on a daily basis, that isn't the primary mechanism of control we interact with. Which brings us to the real modern mechanism of control. Get this. The truth is not hidden. It isn't locked away in some underground vault. It isn't redacted with thick black markers by a shadow government. No, it is almost always readily available to us. It's usually just a few keystrokes away on those devices we all carry around in our pockets. But just because it isn't hidden, well, that doesn't mean it's easy to find. The truth is deliberately buried. So how is it buried? By an absolute industrial quantity of noise. We're talking propaganda, half-truths, endless outrage, wild conspiracy theories, influencer theater, algorithmic rage bait. It is a relentless, non-stop stream of content that just keeps coming and coming and coming. The system does not want to inform you. It is perfectly engineered to keep you constantly, perpetually, emotionally stimulated. This modern information machine doesn't even need to censor the truth. Honestly, why bother when it can simply drown it in this absolute flood of noise? And this avalanche of noise, it builds into the actual destruction of reality. This right here is the anatomy of a murder, the death of a fact. Step 1. A fact no longer has to be disproven. It just gets surrounded by like 100 competing claims. Step 2, it is aggressively stripped of all its context and nuance. Step 3, it gets weaponized, turned into cheap partisan ammunition. And finally, step 4, it is literally buried alive. Pushed into the exact same feed as celebrity gossip, memes, and 15-second videos that are purely engineered to deliver the fastest possible dopamine hit. By the time a genuine truth actually reaches you, it's just another piece of content begging for your fractured attention. Okay, let this sink in for a second. That is the more sophisticated form of control, not preventing people from knowing, but exhausting their capacity to care. It's chilling, isn't it? The goal isn't to keep you in the dark. The goal is to make you so overwhelmed, so completely tired, and so stimulated by absolute nonsense that you just give up. It is control through pure exhaustion. And this brings us right to the core thesis of our debate today. Orwell's vision was a world where humanity is violently deprived of information, a literal drought of truth. But Huxley's vision, the one we are actively swimming in right now, is a world where humanity is completely overwhelmed by distraction, stimulation, and triviality. It's an information flood, and the tragic result is that we completely lose the desire to even seek the truth in the first place. We drown, not in darkness, but in a sea of amusement. Which leads us to the ultimate question we all have to face. The defining struggle of our age is not simply a battle between truth and censorship. No, the real battle line is drawn between truth and indifference. So when you close this explainer and go back to your daily scrolling, checking your feeds, clearing your notifications, will you let the noise win? In this struggle of our age, are you going to succumb to indifference, or will you fight to care?